Matt, is everything kind of still the same on the injury situation? Anybody getting any better or?
You know what, I think, I mean, it's still the same from when we talked about it on, I guess, Monday. Yeah, so I think C.J. Miller looks healthy. You know, some of the guys that were able to rest, J.V. Hamilton looks a little bit more healthy. Dawson Knox looks a little bit more healthy. So I think Victor Evans, again, still a chronic knee problem, but he'll be a little bit better, give us a little bit more. Austrian will be able to play some. So it just, from an injury standpoint, besides the guys that are done for the year, you know, we should be pretty good going into the game.
Is that something Victor's going to have to get looked at once the season's over?
Yeah, I think so. I just think it's a chronic knee injury, and they'll have to go in and MRI it, and you know, potentially maybe scope it. But I think you know, I think for right now it's not going to hurt it any worse. So I think it's just managing it and getting him through the year.
Markel Winters.
You know, he won't play this week. You know, maybe questionable for the next week, but I think he'll be back before the end of the year.
Preparation been satisfactory?
Good, really
point?
good. A lot of energy. Guys, you know, flying around. Look really fresh yesterday because of the weather. We went inside today, but overall, it's been a good week.
You think the physicality of practice yesterday when we were out there, do you think that helps a lot going into a game that you need to work on the physicality a lot?
You know, I think speed of the game is always good, and I think for us backing off some and having shorter practices in the open date, I think it's good to get out there and you know, be physical and get the speed of the game back because it has been a week since you played.
Have you noticed them become more balanced in recent weeks as they've kind of found a running game and then figured out what they have in Bentley? It seems like he's kind of settled into the 15 to 25 range in terms of throwing. Have you noticed more balance in what they do?
Yeah, I think they had success running the football, and you know, I think that's kind of what they hung their hat on and did a nice job. A little bit more 12 personnel. Not as many RPOs, still in their game plan, but just a little bit more, maybe a commitment to running the football.
Do you see a Dan Werner influence in there? Or?
Yeah, some. I mean, always. I mean, football's football. I mean, that means a lot of the schemes are the same. Inside zone, outside zone, power, counter. I mean, that's who they are and who most everybody is. It's just, you know, different variations of it.
Is Samuel similar to any receivers that you guys have?
Just a big, strong guy, probably most similar to AJ. Just they're built similar. Great hands, strong, make a lot of plays, but you know, probably put you in the mindset of AJ just from a build standpoint.
Another 11 a.m. kickoff, and you know, Muschamp said yesterday that he thought that was an advantage for his guys because he gets them up at 5 a.m. every morning. And they're in the building
Right.
by 6. What do you think?
Yeah, it's you know, we got to go put the ball down and play. You know, doesn't matter what time it is, where they, you know, it's 11 o'clock. Seems like about the 5th time we've done it, so I think we should be used to it by now.
What have you seen out of CJ this week, knowing he's getting to, you know, finally participate Saturday? Have you seen an extra step in him in practice, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's excited to finally be back out there. Obviously, he's got you know, fresh legs, and so I'm excited for him to get out there. I think he brings a little physicality. You know, I think he likes contact, and it's just knocking the rust off and just being able to go do it because it has been a while since he's played.
You had mentioned that you felt like Ruggs had kind of hit a freshman wall. Have you seen him kind of break through that?
Yeah, you know, I think it's tough. I think, you know, you come in there and you're battling and you show flashes, and then it's different when you're expected to do it every time. You know, when you're up and coming, if you make one good play, everybody's like, oh man, he flashed.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get in there as a starters, you're expected to flash every time, and there's just a difference there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do think he can give us some valuable reps, and he'll do that on special teams and at linebacker.
Have you ever had a season before where your offensive line has stayed as healthy as this group has?
Thanks.
Knock on wood. It's amazing.
No, it's been those guys, and again, healthy is a relative term. There's a lot of those guys that are playing banged up, and they just don't talk about it, you know, and they go out there and they keep battling. But I am really proud of that group.
Do you feel like you have a better idea of what you guys kind of want to do once you get in the red zone after examining the struggles from 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, there's some tweaks, and you basically just got to find the one-on-one matchups that you like, and then you got to go win those one-on-one matchups. It's no secret. I think at some point everybody struggles in the red zone when you play good defenses. Everything gets condensed. They play man-to-man coverage. You got to go win, and I think you know, we'll have a plan to get our ball to our best players, and they'll make plays.
Jordan said after the Auburn game that he needed to make better decisions, you know, he kind of protect himself, but also look, have you seen that this week? Of
Yeah, I
decision-making?
think when you're an RPO quarterback, you can always second guess. It's easy to sit down the next day when you're sitting on tape and you're watching in the comfort of a chair, saying, "Hey, you should have done this or you should have done that." It happens really fast against really fast players, and but I think he will. He's an experienced guy. He'll bounce back and he'll get the ball to the right people.
Conversely, do you think they're one of the more effective teams y'all played in terms of using the RPO? They seem pretty good at it and use it a lot.
Yeah, and again, they started off with a lot of those, and they kind of backed off and went more just to conventional run game. But it is in their packs, and they do a nice job with it.
Who do you feel like one of those players is that can maybe help y'all in the red zone that maybe isn't a starter right now that you feel like you can throw out there and get a good matchup?
I mean, again, we have very capable players that are out there. We don't have to bring in anybody else. There's very capable players that are out there. We just got to make plays.
Going back to Halloween, you get spooked at all yesterday?
There was a mannequin that came out. I'm not sure if that's on video or anything, but yeah, I did.
Sorry.
That's all right. I think my wife set me up.